Hi everybody, this is Megan Pate I'm the communications coordinator here at the Hewitt Chamber. Today we have a special guest for our business education series. We have Michael Wyatt from Wyatt Brothers Moving. I'm gonna shoot it to him in just a second, but before that we just want to say thank you to Weber Electronics who gave us our equipment to get these done, and we are enjoying it so much. So Michael, it's good to have you here today.
Thank you for letting me come here and talk a little bit about myself and my business. I'm Michael Wyatt. I own Wyatt Brothers Moving Company. We're a local family-owned and operated business here in Waco, Texas. But we don't just stay in Waco, we go anywhere in the state.
Oh, wow.
So anywhere that you want to go, I can go to Corpus. That one's a fun one just because we get to go fishing.
Yeah.
All the way down to, or up to Lubbock and El Paso, we can facilitate that.
And you don't get blown away by windstorms.
Sometimes.
So, your family lives here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you have little ones, don't you?
I do. I have a little boy and girl, twins.
That's awesome.
Yes, ma'am.
And keeps you busy, I'm sure,
They
along
do.
with all of the other.
They do.
So today, basically, what we did was we kind of prepared a question and answer, just anything that's frequently that you get asked a lot,
Yes, ma'am.
so that we can kind of give you guys an idea of what it's like, what you might need, the information you might need to know if you are looking for a mover. So we will jump right in. Are you insured?
Yes, ma'am. So the DMV controls all moving companies, and they make sure that we have a mandated $300,000 minimum coverage for our insurance.
Okay.
So every moving company should be insured, and if you want to ever check it, you can actually go to the DMV's website, so texas.dmv.gov, and go to motor carrier systems and actually look up different companies and see whether or not they are checked for authorized.
Awesome. So we can know that you're legitimate.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And okay, so I know this is probably the big one as people go, how much is it going to cost? How much? That's what people want to know. How much is it going to cost me?
Yeah, and that's a tricky question. Every move's different, so you have different things in your house than I have in mine. That's when we offer free estimates, and I can come out, take 10 minutes to walk through the house and see what you have, and then I can tell you, hey, here's how much it's going to cost roughly. With that, every move is, again, different. So a 3-hour day is always going to be a 3-hour day. We charge per hour.
Okay.
So
So if it's a tiny house with a lot of really big, heavy stuff in it that's going to have to be broken down, it can take the same amount of time, even though it's not the same amount of space as a really large house.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Perfect. Good to know. So what sets Wyatt Brothers Moving apart from other movers?
So what sets us apart is honestly our service. We do treat every customer as if they're part of our family, all the way down to the point of I come out and meet the customers at first when we do the estimate, and then my brother runs the crew. So my brother's there whenever we're doing the actual move. So you always have one of the Wyatt brothers there ready to answer questions or take care of anything that comes up.
Very cool. That's nice to know, because some people, you get who you send.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what about when I mentioned taking furniture apart. So what about dressers and drawers? And do I have to empty all my stuff for you guys to move it?
No, you don't. So what we do is we ask that on your drawers, if you have that designated junk drawer that just kind of catches everything, we ask that you empty that.
Okay.
Or anything that's fragile. But if it's just clothes and linens and those soft things in a dresser, that's completely okay to keep in there.
Awesome. That saves a lot of time.
Yes, ma'am.
So, how do people hire you?
Well, I mean, the easiest thing is to go to the website. You can actually fill out an online estimate, and all that does is gives me a basic information of where you're at now, where you're wanting to go to, kind of how big of your house is, and then I will give you a call. We'll set up a free estimate, and I can come out and actually talk to you, answer any questions just like this, and help you get prepared and hopefully win the business.
Okay. This is off book, but I have a good question.
Gotcha.
Okay. So, does the distance matter in the moving cost? Other than that's a question I have.
That's a good question. So, in the 7 cities of Waco and I say that the greater Waco area, we don't charge a distance fee.
Okay.
But if we go outside of 30 minutes from the Waco area, then we do charge a distance fee.
Okay.
And it's all based on the actual mileage from point A to point B.
Okay, perfect. Good to know. Sorry to throw that on you.
No, you're good.
Okay, so is it cheaper to rent your own, especially if I guess we were talking distance, is it cheaper to rent your own truck and load it yourself? Or
So to be honest, it's about the same price. There's always a couple of different variables there. We're going to be a little bit more expensive on that end, but what you pay for is the lack of stress.
Yeah.
So whenever you do it yourself, you're getting your truck and you're trying to play Tetris and put it all in there and maybe don't know exactly how, whereas we do it on a daily basis so we know what stacks and how well it can fit. And then you typically are relying on your buddies that show up and whether or not you feed them and this and that, and they don't always take care of your things as if it was theirs. So there's a lot more stress that comes in if you're going to do it yourself.
Yeah.
So a few hundred extra bucks, you can pay somebody to take all of that stress away.
I can count like on 2 fingers how many people I'd trust to move my things that are friends with me, and that, sorry guys.
Yeah.
So, how do you stay organized and pack up your house?
So that's a very good question. I don't know. I have no clue. We don't offer packing services. So what I do is I actually refer a good friend of mine. She's a professional organizer, and whenever someone says, I need help, I just call her. She can take care of it. And talk about stress. She makes the stress that we have even less.
That's awesome.
So normally for moves, we play 50 questions, and it's usually, does this go, does this not go? Where does this go? Where does that go? Whenever we have that professional organizer, she labels everything down to a T of this goes in this room, this goes in that room, this is how the room's going to be laid out. So now I'm not asking my customer 1,000 questions at the end of the day. It's all just cut and dry, and then I go, hey, here's how much you owe.
That's great.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is her name?
Her name is Jennifer Snyder with Neat as a
Neat
Pen.
as a Pen, yeah.
Yes, she is amazing.
She's pretty great, guys.
Yes, ma'am.
So, how far in advance should I contact a mover?
So the sooner the better, and that's always the case. During the summer months, we're always busy. That's the peak moving season, and that one almost a month in advance.
Okay.
Like right now, we're about 2.5 weeks out. Depending on the time of year, it's a little bit different. Some companies don't work weekends. We do.
Awesome.
So we work Monday through Saturday. Sunday's the only day off that we need our day.
You need a day, yeah, for sure.
But yes, ma'am. But the sooner the better. I mean, if you know, hey, in 6 months I'm going to be moving, go ahead and call us now. We can come out, do an estimate, and kind of get you on the books as a tentative, and then we can change it as it gets closer.
Boy, that's nice too, because you could pay it, like get ready to pay
Yeah,
that and
yeah.
have like your little payment plan already set up.
Yes, ma'am.
That's great. Okay, so how and when do I pay movers, and should I tip?
The last part, we'll get to that one in a second. How and when. So we take cash check or credit cards.
Okay.
And then we can also do an invoice and give net 10 or net 30, just kind of depending on the price of the move. But all of our payments are due on the completion of the move.
Okay.
So when I do your estimate and I say, hey, it'll take about 6 hours, if my guys get done in 4 hours, then you only pay for that 4 hours.
Oh, that's great.
So it can save you money, but with that, we wait till the very end and we do all of the math on the exact hours that it took to move.
Okay.
So try to save as much money as possible.
Yeah.
And then tips. That's always a loaded question.
You're saving the money. They
Yeah.
need to tip you.
Yeah, that's yeah, right. No, I've told my guys, and me and my guys will never ask for a tip. But we do have some pretty amazing customers that will buy us lunch, or they'll provide waters and Gatorades, this and that. And then those that do want to tip actual money, they usually follow that server's guideline of 10 to 20%, just kind of depending on how you think your service was.
Yeah, great. Okay, so one more question. When is the best? I look at this question and I laugh because it's like 100 degrees outside. When is the best time to move?
Yeah, when it's not busy. When it's not hot, not raining, so like never in Texas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
No, the best time is, I mean, for us, like I said, we're flexible. We work 6 days a week, so whatever is easiest for your schedule. The busy time obviously is going to be summer, so if you know you want to move during the summer, you need to book early in the year and start making reservations and everything. If you know, hey, I really want to move around Christmas time, you could always wait until a week before.
Okay.
So it
Not a
just
lot
kinda,
of Christmas movers, huh?
Not too many. I mean,
Okay.
about October, middle, end of October, we start slowing down for Christmas,
Holidays.
Thanksgiving, and all of that. And then about February is when we're picking back up to running 8 to 10 moves a week.
Awesome. Okay. Anything else you want to share, just off the top of your head? No. I think we covered a lot.
Yeah.
But I do want you to let everyone know how best to get a hold of you. Website, telephone, things like that. So that way if they have any questions that they can just maybe email you or however you want
Yes, ma'am.
them to get a hold of you.
So we actually just revamped our website. So if you go to www.wyattbrothersmoving.com, you can fill out a little contact us deal at the bottom, and it's just your name, phone number, and a brief message that goes directly to my email.
Perfect.
So I can read it and then contact you. Or my number is pretty much all over the website, but it's 254-749-9408, and that's my company cell phone. So if you have any questions, I answer that Monday through Saturday.
Great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Michael. I learned like a ton. I'm not moving right now, but you just never know.
Yes, ma'am.
So we just want to thank you guys for tuning in, and stay tuned for the next one. And we look forward to, Michael looks forward to hearing from you, and get in touch with me if you have any webinar needs. So y'all have a great Friday and a wonderful weekend.
Yes, y'all take care.